I think I'm good.
Okay.
I thought you were chaotic neutral. What do you mean you're good now?
It's a scale, a sliding scale.
A sliding scale.
All right. It is session 4 of the Psychotronic Hustle, Wholesale War, and it is time for the recap. And with no Kurt, who will take it?
Well, we started with so the last session started where we were inside the space research facilities trying to rescue the prisoner Orthopter. It started where Ori hacked their Wi-Fi. He found out that the password was admin, and he was able to download the floor plan and to see what and get numbers for each of the rooms. They learned that he also learned that he had the ability to open all doors except the prisoner cells. So after debating for probably a long time in real time and probably 20 minutes in game time, we decided to try to flush them out by opening a pathway from the security office to the space, to like an empty bay. So we went into our ships, put on our vac suits, and we opened it up, left it on for a minute, and then busted out. Meanwhile, Hulkrith was on the spaceship doing the I-9s and the sexual harassment trainings to the newly acquired harem.
Yep.
I don't think they understood it.
So we got into combat. It turns out that the couches were extremely great for protecting blaster fire. We really made use of the cover mechanic, which turns out is pretty important in this game. Makes fights a lot easier. Jonathan Field went down, and since we were in the middle of a fight and no one had a pack on them, he ended up dying. Ori went down, but there was only one enemy left, and Lord Mars was able to dispatch him and revive Ori with the med kit in the break room. We were able to spring Orthopter from captivity after going down one level. He was very erratic and basically one hit killed anything that any person that passed. We went to go see Cal on Churates to get deputized by the UPM for the herd system. So as we were entering the herd system, a message took over our communication channels and said that that the system was on lockdown, but the UPM was looking for hiring mercenaries to be deputized to help quell the recent troubles. So we went to get deputized, and so we could pass through and continue on. and we got our outpost is to go back to the what's that system called? Back to the Dazzle system where we saw was it Dazzle or Zeal? It's the Zeal system.
Yeah, that's where they told you your assignment was, to go to Zeal.
Yeah, we were assigned back to the Zeal system where Sarok and the space station was. we totally ignored it and went instead to continue on for the quest that we have to drop off the pallet of Blue Light Specials at Tula and Associates on Churates, I believe. And we got our 3,000 credits for that. And we also realized that none of us knew how to pilot a ship since our pilot died. Mm-hmm. So we spent some time in the local cantina looking for a pilot. And we got a interesting character. It washed up. I don't know how to describe other than a washed up pilot who can't actually walk. But we at least have a pilot. So then we went. His name was Old Sherry, the medically unfit Old Sherry.
Yep.
So we ended up getting paid a total of 25,000 space bucks. We dropped off Orthopter, who's looking for Jaggerfells. So the people who actually asked us to free Orthopter was a group that lived on the planet Apis, and they lost the war between Sindum and Apis. So after they lost, they were exiled to this planet under pain of death. So the reason they wanted Orthopter is because he's a killing machine and is a great help to their cause. They're in the same system as one of their other prisoners, or another one of their prisoners that they wanted freed, that we also have the quest for, or the mission for. And as we parted ways, they mentioned that Enigma sends his regards.
Yep.
And that's essentially where we left off. We were intending on going to free the prisoner since it was the same system. But we also have some sort of requirement to report back to UPM every 6 hours with a status report.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, from Zeal.
From Zeal.
So yeah, you guys are right now orbiting Photocus, the moon, as you have dropped off Orthopter to the Liberator. Jonathan's body is cooling away in the frosty machine that has a sign that says "Do not use" taped to it.
Ah, yes.
Yep.
Obviously, Jonathan probably has filled out various paperwork and such that would determine what his last will and testament would be.
Of course I have. Woo, I'm a ghost in the ship. Woo!
So I guess Hallcraith would probably be most aware of kind of those sorts of arrangements of where they're located, and he may even know some of their details on hand, because it's not because it would be reasonable to expect that mercenaries are fairly die fairly often.
Yes, the will includes a contact by the name of Mayo Thomane. His information is included here, and we are directed to make contact with this individual. it is said that he will take care of the body.
Is
Um,
is there any instructions on how to contact this myothomane?
It's included in here. I do not claim to know what coordinates are, communication procedures. I imagine that's your job.
Yeah, you could just send like a commo like blast, and it will like ping the buoy and just go everywhere.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's kind of like one of those alerts you get on your phone for everything.
I'm gonna send a Snapchat to myothomane.
Okay. And what?
Just
Unsolicited dick pic. Go to Jonathan in the freezer, take a picture of his dick and send it. Remember this?
so I'll fire up the communications on our machine. Should probably come up with what it looks like. But I'll fire up our comm channel and I'll punch in the coordinates and specified.
Okay.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try your call again.
About 10 minutes elapse, so you get a ping back. It says, "On my way. Be there within the hour."
Uh-oh.
So logistically, so we receive a ping in this universe.
Yes.
Do we know where the ping comes from?
No, you wouldn't know. It came from the buoy, whatever the buoy is here in the hum system. So.
But we don't know its origin.
Mm-mm.
So if they got our ping and they said they'll be there within the hour, would they have? Is it reasonable that nobody knows, or if you have special equipment that you might know where the origination of the message came from?
You could do a check to see if you could like backtrack where this ping came from. That's fine with me. Where he's at.
Yeah, I mean, it would be within at least. Depending on how fast the ship it goes. I mean, it's pretty easy to determine within an hour's time frame of where we are, the amount of space that can be covered.
Also depends on the spike drive. A more powerful spike drive, they can do it faster.
True. Spike drive means, whatever we guess is just a guess.
Yeah.
Sure. What kind of check would that be?
You could do program check. I mean, that's your. So you're like.
That would be a punch check.
All right, I got a 12.
So with your careful skills like backtracking, you probably have like some program that you have designed to like some sort of retracking program to figure out where Kamo came. You realize it came from Sindum.
Of course it did.
It seems this myothomanes and is coming from Sindum, or at least coming from here, from Sindum to here. Interesting. Well, within the hour is quite reasonable then. Sindum's only a hop and a skip it away.
All right. So with the last mission, you guys got 4 laser rifles. The energy cells are technically RE730C batteries.
It's a lot of numbers and letters.
Yes. Not to be confused with the RE730 that goes into the blue light special. These are a different battery.
So what are they? The RE737?
I'll put it in the chat there. 730Cs.
730C Jumbo. It's a much better battery than the other batteries you're looking at there. It actually holds a charge for more than 5 minutes.
So you got 8 total.
What's the batteries in the blue light special?
They're just RE7 730s. They don't have the C.
The C's for comfort.
These are all Sindum weapons anyway.
What are the stats on those laser rifles?
They're just standard laser rifle in the book. I think it's 1d10, right?
Yep, 1d10.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so they're not special laser rifles.
Oh, well, in that case, if we have some laser rifles, I'll take that, because right now I'm wielding a pair of fucking revolvers.
So
well, you do have an
for my
armory.
ranged weapon.
So yeah, this is what we discovered last game, or what probably more what we realized is we have a full-fledged armory on the ship.
Mag rifles, mag pistols, laser weapon, void carbines, combat uniforms.
Only Jonathan was really aware that we had a full-fledged armory. So we've been toting around these like dinky, shitty weapons, and like we could have just picked like whatever we wanted right out of the ship.
So do we have better armor than woven body armor?
We have 6 combat uniforms.
All right, let's see what a combat uniform does.
Which are the best things you can have that on power armor.
Yeah, what are they? Combat uniforms?
Yep. Combat field uniform to be exact.
Oh, damn. My armor class goes up a whole point.
Can anybody wear combat field uniforms?
Anyone can wear any armor in this game. No restrictions.
Shit, man, why did I know that? I could have gotten off the secure clothing.
All of it's on page 64 and 65.
Man, if we have 6 combat field uniforms, I am like just gonna stop wherever I'm at right now and go put that on.
Wait, so what kind of lasers do we have? The laser rifle?
We have laser rifles, we have laser pistols, we have mag rifles, we have mag pistols, and we have void carbines. The void carbines are more for if we're fighting inside of a ship so we don't punch holes in it.
Man, that's awesome. The combat field uniform, that knocks my AC up a whole 3 points.
There you go.
That's pretty significant, man. When I have 10 hit points, I'll take all the AC I can get.
I think if you guys got anything else from that last mission.
All right. I'm going to take me a mag rifle.
Good choice.
And then 300, 600, 10.
We also have field equipment including Lazarus patches for emergency medical things. We have backpacks, binoculars, low light goggles, grappling launchers, and grappling hooks, and rope, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So I think lesson learned. Check the armory before we get off the ship.
Always check the armory. Not to mention the explosives we have.
Okay.
Including flashbangs, hand grenades.
What is XM as a size?
Extra medium.
Extra medium.
Is that like top of the bell curve in terms of sizes?
Could be.
XT, extra thick. Yeah, always check the armory. I'm just going to write down the whole list of everything and write exactly how many of everything we have and send it to all of you people.
You people.
Yeah, you people.
You people.
That's right. Laugh it up there. Sonny.
Dose of unidentified serum.
Yeah, it's the one Lord Mars got from the scientist. They said that he used it on Orthopter to keep him calm.
Yeah.
You should try it out, see what happens.
So while Mike's gone, what are the encumbrance rules?
They are your strength score divided by 2 is what you can have readied. That's your ready encumbrance.
Strength divided by 2. Okay.
Yes. And you can have in your backpack up to your strength score of encumbrance. So if you have a strength of 10, you can have 5 encumbrance readied and 10 in your backpack.
Gotcha. Peter, are we going to play by encumbrance rules?
I don't know. I mean,
I've been
are you
doing-
running into an issue already?
No. But if I'm going to carry, that means like if you're giving items, then like we also need to have like what the encumbrance of those items would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you don't want to deal with it, then we cannot bother with encumbrance.
Sorry about that, guys.
No, that's fine.
No worries.
So the mag boots would have some sort of encumbrance?
Hypothetically, you could go ahead and put a dash and say that it's not
Yeah.
heavy enough to be noticeable.
Yeah, that's what I would say with that.
All right. So like we'll want to leave encumbrance for items that
Have
would
encumbrance.
matter.
Like weapons and ammunition and stuff like that. And armor.
Basically, it's designed for Brendan's character when he wants to carry a quad rocket launcher with like unlimited ammo.
Right. Yeah, I think Hell's just gonna not carry anything except weapons. That's all he'll do.
And whatever.
Also maybe just some papers and a binder.
Walks around carrying a briefcase everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be like is it not Three Amigos, but Once Upon a Time in Mexico? You got like your briefcase.
Yes.
Yeah, all the guns and everything in it.
Yeah.
El Mariachi.
Oh, so we have 1 dose of some unidentified serum.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. This was used by Orthopter, or this was used to calm Orthopter down by the researchers. So we don't know what it is, but we know it probably smells like chloroform.
Just mark it down as for recreational uses.
Remind me, who's Orthopter again?
He was the prisoner that we busted out of the space station last session, which
Pretty much.
I'll
Praying
call.
Mantis Rambo.
Okay, so that was because when I last played, we had just gotten to that area where we were about to start that.
yeah, we're that's where we were talking about selling you.
Right.
Yep. Well, that's actually the fun thing is we did sell you, so technically you're not on the ship anymore.
There's an IOU.
All right. So really, it's just Hellcraith and Dustin. Are you still playing Ori?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know if Ori died or not. It sounded like it was close.
It was.
He did go down, but he was able to be revived because there wasn't a bunch of enemies in the room.
Okay. So right now it's just Hellcraith and Ori while we're waiting for Myothomain.
Yep.
Well, that's not quite true. You also have Lord Mars, and then you have the 3 slaves, and then you have Sharif.
Yep.
Lord Mars is probably chilling in the medical bay.
Right. And then who are the slaves again?
Ori, or not Ori. It was Nori, Glory, and
Ori?
I had their names down. Hold on a sec. Let me pull them up.
Glory, Nori, and Glory.
Yeah, Nori, Lori, and Glory.
Yep.
And they all have their own unique personalities.
And since they were slaves and they didn't have names before, they'll just take my last name or my name as their last name. So it'll be Nori Ori, Lori Ori, Glory Ori.
Might I suggest it's time for the suicide prevention class after hearing that?
I'm Mario. This is Luigi Mario.
Oh my God, you made that reference.
So about 45 minutes goes by. You hear a knock on like the hatch door to the free merchant ship. Like somebody's banging it. Exactly, just like that. And Sherry just kind of is at the controls and there's looks like something's approaching.
Very helpful.
I'll stand on the side of the door. Who is it?
It's Myothomain.
All right.
He is an asshole. Don't let him in. Woo!
So I open the sliding door.
Okay. Yeah, you open it up. A humanoid comes in a
Don't forget the screen door.
in a spacesuit, clomping down. You close it, and he takes the helmet off. His like frizzy hair comes everywhere, and he's like, "Yeah, could you be a dear and pay my spoober driver? It's be about 400 space bucks. Space Uber, spoober. How do you think I got here, man?"
It was not in the contract that we would pay expenses for your travel.
Jonathan said he'd take care of it.
I'm reviewing the will right here. It's not in there.
It should be in the bottom. Excuse me, I am Myothomain. I'm spiritualist, psychic, chakra adjuster, or purification, license in Kama Sutra, Kama Cetra, Kama gonna get you in bunion removal.
Karma Sutra, you say?
Yes.
So,
You broke Hellcraith.
he's cracking.
Yeah. Pieces are falling off.
It's the first time I've ever seen someone experience a stroke in person.
So how did you know Jonathan? If
We
you don't
met.
mind asking.
We met on Darmosh after bad things had happened to him. Bad things. He needed a life plan, and I was there to facilitate.
A what plan?
A life plan. After his demise, I assume he has died.
That's
Yes.
his body over there.
He's in the ice cream machine.
Oh. Do you have chocolate swirl?
I think he made some, but I don't know if I.
So he proceeds to get out of like his this vac suit, and he's got like long robes and all kinds of baubles and stuff on him, and a lot of beads and stuff. He's wearing no shoes, but he doesn't. He seems to stick right to the floor, like he's got like magnetic feet or something. And he walks over to the machine and around. That's definitely him.
Yes, so we have contacted you. You have come. Now, what do you need to facilitate the arrangements so that
We
can...
must perform what his last request, and I would need all of your assistance. We will gather in a circle and perform a seance to send him to where he needs to go.
Where does he need to go?
That is confidentiality, my friend.
Palcraith, is that in the will?
Regardless, you must honor confidentiality.
Bingo.
I will say that I do not believe in any of this, but I will engage in the rituals only as far as my action and attention is required. I will not believe in it.
Whatever your preference is, my rock friend. Or are you a rock star?
I'm Hellcraith. Rock Hellcraith.
So he pushes like Jonathan's body aside and finds some ice cream. It's not as good as corporates, but it's fine. Let us all get in a circle and hold hands. I need at least 5 people, including myself.
That would not be a circle, that would be a pentagon.
Whatever.
So I'll grab her hand or his hand.
Okay.
As I grab it, I notice that it's a little sticky.
Okay.
Is this a requirement that we must hold appendages?
Yes. To perform the ritual. Jonathan, are you still here?
I'm here. What do you need?
Don't worry. I'll take care of that for you. So
This
who
was
else
unexpected. I did not think we would hear his voice again.
Can you see me? Hello.
Can we hear and see him, or is this?
I don't know. It's up to you. I mean,
is this something that only only Mile Thomaine can?
I'm sure you can hear him. I don't know if you can see him. You can tell me if you see him.
Yeah, I suppose we should send him where he needs to go.
Ooh.
So we join hands then.
Yep. So it's the 3 of you, and who else? Who's the other 2 people?
Well, Lord Mars.
Okay.
I imagine that we'd pull him out. He'd probably want to send off his last respects.
Okay.
Then
That makes 5.
one of the slaves.
Well, that would make 5 people with Lord Mars, right? Including.
No, it would make 4. Me, Hellcraith, Ori, this Myothomaine, and Lord Death Mars.
All right, so what we call Glory Ori.
Glory Ori. My dear. So
Hello, Glory.
he
Just grab my hand.
starts to spit out some mumbo jumbo and then says, go ahead and tell me something good about Jonathan. Any last words you want to tell me?
He was proficient.
Okay. Okay.
I appreciated his calm demeanor and cool, calculating attitude at the helm of the ship. Also, he still owes me $5.
Check your back pocket. Ooh.
Lord Mars says that he appreciated it, taking one of those shots to protect Ori when he had died. Then he begins to speak some other words. You can see that in the room, like there's like a mist begins to form like above you and starts to swirl around.
Herd system curates. The fabled Red Squadron has suffered a catastrophic defeat. There are no survivors.
And Fred, you lying son of a bitch!
Had it coming, Hartfield.
It was Walter Funk who orchestrated it.
And for his role in the ambush that defeated the Red Squadron, Walter Funk, former Sindoom Industries intelligence officer, will be sent to Ingig, Sindoom's infamous prison.
I will find you, General Kosminski. I will find you.
This is what your arrogance gets you, Hartfield. This is what it gets you.
Red Squadron forever, forever, forever. And to you, Lord Mars, I leave you with all of my debts.
Material information contained in this seance is for general information purposes only. You should not rely upon the material information for this seance as the basis of making any business, legal, or any other decision.
Okay, you hear that. The mist vanishes. You hear a whooshing noise. I believe it is done. Thank you.
Well, you heard that, Lord Mars. He leaves you with all of his debts. Hopefully, that doesn't percolate to the rest of the mercenary company.
That was a highly unusual experience. There's no radiation about, is there?
Radiation, there's always radiation in space.
Yes, but high energy radiation. X-rays, gamma rays.
You should probably run a check if you are concerned.
Uh-oh.
I just can think of no other way to explain what I have just experienced. As a reminder, radiation is a mind-altering substance for
that's
health
right.
wraith.
That's right. That's right.
Check and see if the serum's still there, if it's disappeared.
So Mayo looks at his communicator. I believe my scuba driver has stayed, so I will get a lift. There is a bunion I need to remove in drift system. If any of you needs any life decisions, you know where to find me.
Are you going to take his body?
Oh, right. Of course. Thank you. He walks over to the frosty machine and pulls out the frozen body of Jonathan. He gets his vac suit on, puts his communicator, and he's, yes, yeah. Make sure you, yes, if you could fire up that incinerator, I'd appreciate it. I would thank you very much. And he begins to open the door to leave.
Wait, what was that message?
Oh, I'm taking care of the body, of course.
No. The message we heard.
Oh, it was a seance. whatever. The spirit returning to where, or going where it needs to go. I mean,
What happens to people's spirits who aren't returned to where they need to go?
some get angry or apathetic. Some become lost forever. But I think he's safe where he needs to be.
Probably. I just haven't experienced a seance before. Normally they just die and never talk again. Jonathan seems to be different.
He was very different.
As we can all attest to. Anyways, good day.
Yes, and he opens and steps out into space and heads over to the small little shuttlecraft that's waiting for him and proceeds to get in with the body. Lord Mars looks at his data pad and knows he now has he has all this debt that's suddenly populating.
Yep.
That's
Mostly
the
ship.
that's the price of not being able to attend a session.
Yes.
Well, what was that about Red Squadron defeated? I only caught bits and pieces of that message.
It sounds like there was an ambush. Somebody created some kind of opening that allowed this Red Army to be exterminated. Red Squadron, or has Hellcraith ever heard of the Red Squadron?
You could roll a no check. I don't think Ori would have heard him.
No. Nine.
You know that they were a mercenary, some kind of mercenary company.
Mm-hmm.
But like they came, you heard of them because of how famous they are. Like just their name, people talked about them. Something happened on Darmosh, which is on Churates, and the whole squadron was like wiped out.
Okay. So Hellcraith would relate to Ori. Yeah. Thinking back on it, I think I do recall some news clippings of a mercenary squad that called themselves the Red Squadron. But based on the message, it sounded like some kind of intelligence individual involved in some kind of intelligence agency was somehow involved. That would seem to suggest some kind of government connections to this organization. Right, I'm not making that up. I heard something about an intelligence agent or something. Some person in that message. There was somebody that was referred to.
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't write it down, so I can't tell you.
Nah.
Well, if this Red Squadron was defeated on turrets, that's where we dropped off the blue light specials. I wonder if
perhaps we might have contributed to the fall of this army.
yes.
Sherry walks into the room there, clanking. I heard something about the Red Squadron. Well, I tried out for them, didn't make it. I think couldn't pass medical. But that's probably good that I didn't. I would have been killed in that ambush.
What do you know of the ambush?
It happened at Darmash, about 3, 4, 5 years ago, during the Civil War.
So this is not current news. This is old.
Depending on your lifespan, to me, I'm just happy I remember it.
What I mean by old is not current.
No.
If 5 solar revolutions have taken place since the fall of this thing, it is curious as to why we would be hearing about it now through this supposed seance.
I don't know. I didn't hear nothing. I was eating space chips, trying to relax. There was all that mumbling and jumbling going on. I can't get a nap around here. But we got a message on the comms. Something about we need to head to Pheno in the drift system. Something about going to a place called the Lion's Paw and telling the Zabrak that I have the puzzles picture for you. Came from the curator, so I think that's important.
We're also shirking our duties in the Zeal system for our UPM. Newly deputized UPM, which they'll expect a report fairly soon.
Yeah.
Wait, are you speaking of the falsehood that we initiated on that system that we were on previously?
Yes,
When we dropped off took the blue light specials.
Yes, but we are officially deputies of the UPM, and if we abandon our posts, then we will be tracked down and be wanted by the UPM.
How official was that deputization? I don't recall signing any paperwork.
You were zoned out, but you signed it. We all did.
Unfortunate.
So should we?
If the paperwork was signed, then we must fulfill those duties.
Well, I will, as the probationary pilot of this vessel, I will set a course for Zeal then.
At least for the present, until we can figure out how to not be deputized.
Basically, if we destroy the paperwork, then we destroy the deputization. Also, any witnesses to the signing of said paperwork.
Planetary bombardment time.
So Sherry says prepare for, enter the metadimensional space and to spike drive. Gets it started, blah, blah, blah. Sets the coordinates. Opens up. There's a flash. It's like 2 seconds pass. And you are drifting. You are now out into space. There is like a small planetary body ahead of you. It starts to spit up. Yes, we're here. Looks like we're here. Drift system, and there's the moon, Pheno. What? And he looks down and starts messing. No, I'm pretty sure I put in business system. I don't know why we're here. I think there's something wrong with your navigation system.
You put in business system and we're in the drift system?
Yeah, seems like we stopped here for some reason. I think you got a problem with Jawas or something? Infestation, maybe?
Jawas.
Yeah, the small little creatures.
We haven't picked up any that we're aware of.
Well,
but I do have a can of Raid.
Hellcraith will begin diligently looking for any Jawas.
At that time, Ori's gonna also like inspect the computer system and see if I can ascertain if there's anything wrong with it.
Okay.
Because Hellcraith is just being so thorough, like literally like going through the ship crevice by crevice. Can I do a work roll?
Yes, you can.
I am Pancho Rutini, the mightiest of these genres.
It's a serious roll.
11.
You don't find any Jawas, but it is a very meticulous search. One that,
I imagine it takes like 2-3 hours.
yeah, I mean, it's like
2 or 3
very
days.
serious.
Yeah.
I imagine Hallcraft like coming back and he pulls off like a rubber glove. I've done a full body cavity search of this ship. No Jawas.
Yep. I mean, you're finding space Cheeto, cosmic Cool Ranch dust.
Yeah, probably like 42 cents and a few crevices that might be usable for some other purposes.
Yep.
Still didn't find the smuggler's hold, though.
Yeah.
If you want to roll that program check, if you're going to.
Oh man. 3 1s. Not even my skill can help me out here. So I got a solid 2.
Can you auto succeed with the fact you're an expert or something like that? I think the expert can redo it.
Wait, how did you roll 3 dice for it?
Because he
Oh,
has
Isn't it
focus.
2?
Okay.
I'm a hacker.
Oh, okay.
I'm a code cracker, slacker. You're right. I think I can't you can auto succeed. I did not write that down on my character sheet, which I probably should. Once per scene, you can re-roll a failed skill check. So I'm gonna do that.
3 more 1s. Here we go.
Oh, that's much better. So that's a 10.
Okay. The navigation system, was worked on because it was damaged, and it's practically brand new. There is nothing wrong with it, as far as you could tell.
Well, Sherry, it looks fine to me. This navigation system is rock solid. It must be a user error.
I could have blacked out.
Problem's about 18 centimeters away from the keyboard.
I walk away and I'm like, I wish Jonathan were here.
And the
ID 10T. That's the code. ID 10T.
Official.
ID 10T.
Yep.
Yeah. It spells idiot.
Yes. ID 10T.
You young people and your lingo. You hear the comms come on. Free Merchant Kelly, you are authorized to land here at Theno. All clear.
Wait, is the ship automatically landing?
Well, apparently we are. I don't know when I must have set that course.
This guy's sketchy as fuck.
Either your incompetence is astounding, or you are acting in direct opposition to our orders.
No,
I
I've
don't
got,
know which I hate worse.
He reaches in and pulls out a data stick. He's like, nope, I got plenty of documentation here that says I'm very incompetent. So
I'll review and be in touch with that. and he'll take the data stick and then go and review personally each and every record of his incompetence.
okay. So the ship just sort of lands on the moon of Lusamine, the Theno moon. It's like a desert planet next to these, like a docking area next to all these various, like a small village.
What does this moon surface look like?
It's just like brown sand, rock,
You ever been to Kansas?
without the grass.
Mention Kansas after a fire.
This place seems unpleasant.
I don't know. It seems very fitting. If the atmosphere was slightly better, this would be enjoyable.
It's
Wow.
like 45 degrees Celsius.
Yes,
It's like
highly enjoyable.
113 degrees out.
Well, I suppose I'll put on my vac suit, which has temperature control,
Okay.
as well as air.
Does this moon have a breathable atmosphere?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, that all comes up. It's breathable. It's about 113 degrees. There's no known biological or allergens in the air.
Well, I suppose we can take a look to see what try to pull us in here. I'll go to the comm and say, "Is there anyone?" This is Ori from Wholesale War Mercenary Company. We've been pulled onto Lucime here. Do you copy?
This is Theno docking station. Yeah, you just we've been expecting you, so we'll see you when you come in.
Who are you?
Bob, I'm just kind of send messages. I just work at the station. I don't really know.
What are your interests?
As far as, are you talking about like outside of my job or like after hours, or what are we talking about?
Are those the same thing?
No, they're completely different.
How about outside of your job?
Well, I like table tennis. Kind of a big fan. And I'm digging the Cosmic Cool Doritos.
They are delicious.
They are very good. And one day I really hope to be an underwear model.
Do you have a favorite brand?
Not right now, no. I could send you a link to my Facebook page. I got some profile pics there.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
We'll
And
see.
everyone thinks the Bard's the horny guy.
So, did we land? We landed on Theno?
Yeah.
Okay. So presumably we landed in some sort of station where we can dock out. We dock and get out.
Yep.
And there's like a clear place to go.
Yeah, there's just a couple buildings, like a small little village area. There's some people moving about. There's a gentle, nice hot breeze blowing. There's one vendor out here selling some Eddington potatoes. and there's a sign in front of one of the buildings that says Lion's Paw.
Well, I suppose we better get this over with.
Yes, let's get to the bottom of this and leave the system as quickly as possible.
So we'll walk up to the Lion's Paw, and what kind of door is it?
It is like just like a push door, like not like a saloon, but it's definitely not a space door.
Kind of like a Denny's or something.
Yeah.
We'll push it open.
Okay. So you push open. It is low lit. There's like 5 tables and like 3 people in here with 1 bartender. And he watches you guys come in. Everyone stops and looks at you. Give me a notice roll.
Nice. I got a 6. Or no, a 5.
If you don't have proficiency, it's a -1, right?
Yep.
Correct.
All right, I got a 1.
Okay. Even though they're staring you down, it feels warm and welcoming in here.
So, since this is just Hallcraith and I, maybe I'll motion. Maybe we just sit at the bar.
It says you walk up. There's a humanoid, and he's got like bandana and like some long draping clothes, dark skin, and he says, "Wholesale War, right?"
Yes, I am worried.
And he points to the to the right. And as when you first came in and looked in the bar, it looked like just a back wall, but now that it's not there anymore, and there's a seat with a Zabrak sitting in there. That's with the E, not to be confused with the Disney copyrighted Zabrak.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course.
Right. All right, so I will begin heading over to that creature. And then will be, are you the one that summoned us?
I sent the message. Glad you could make it.
So what's the meaning of this?
Let us talk in private. As you both sit down, he reaches like underneath the table, and like an illusion appears behind you where you entered the seats. So it looks like a wall, and the whole seating area spins around. So like you're on the other side of the wall now. You are now in a room, and it's just like you notice that there's a wall with a bunch of scorch marks, looks like from a laser blast. There's like lockers open with like weapons. There's 2 individuals like talking, and they're like looking at equipment. And there's another person in there. Josh.
Uh-oh.
Introduce your character.
Introduce my character. Okay. My character is about 5'7", black hair, blue eyes. She's in full combat armor, holding a mag rifle. And that's about it at the moment. Oh, and she also has this big fur cape on as well.
And her name?
Her name is Lana.
Lana, come sit down. The curator said that you were down one person. I believe Lana here could help you, especially if you're going to do the prison job. We appreciate your help with Orthopter, or as we like to call him, Caroz. His release was very important to the cause.
Caroz?
Yes. Or Caroz, or however he pronounces his name.
What is his importance other than being an expert killing machine?
He was imprisoned, incarcerated or used for lab work years ago by Jagger Fells.
Yes, he seemed to be very angry towards Jagger Fells.
Well, he's typically very angry, but Jagger makes him even angrier.
I'm more curious to know if you have permits for all of these weapons.
Permits?
Yes, do you have the legal authority to be carrying them and hoarding them?
Of course we have the permits.
As I do not feel the desire to investigate, I'll take your word for it at this juncture.
Lana here knows about the prison.
I've been studying it for some time. And
What organization are you a part of? What organization is this?
We are part of the IAI, the Pious Independence Alliance. I work directly for Enigma.
IAI?
Yep. Or did I say that wrong? AIA? AI. Yeah.
AIA.
What is Enigma?
That's a good question.
It's one of the leaders.
How is it Enigma? Is Enigma have any relation to the curator?
I believe they know each other. They have a good working relationship.
Interesting.
So you are effectively associates of the curator.
I don't know if she would see that.
I think these fellows post a lot of job postings with the curator, so they do good business together, but not necessarily associated with. Have you ever met Enigma? I've heard his name come up many times. And people have thanked us on behalf of Enigma.
We have only spoken via communique. We've never met in person.
What do you know if the AIA has any business in the Zeal system?
We might.
The reason I asked is we were there on another mission, and one of the local warlords thought we were emissaries of Enigma, or had some relationship with Enigma.
What did you do there?
It is no matter. It was fulfilling a mission for another client.
Very well. Well, I don't think you can go in there guns blazing into the prison. Uh-oh.
I think Dustin fainted.
Yeah. Or either that he's really still. Nope.
Oh, he's not even. I didn't. Yeah, he must bolt. He's not. He's no longer interested in the conversation.
Yeah, he said hell with us.
Uh-oh. Would I know who Enigma is? Probably not.
No. I mean, you've heard the name, obviously, but
Yeah, I
you've
wouldn't
never
actually
met.
know.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
He's back.
Hey, sorry, my internet just died.
dun dun dun.
There we go. All
So we
right.
discovered Enigma is actually Lord Mars, and that's his secret name. And that he's actually been giving us missions this entire time.
Just in time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, would Hellcraith know anything about Enigma?
You may have heard the name mentioned at some point in your travels, but like as far as anything more than that, no.
Cocktail party, you hear the name Enigma, and you're like, oh, I know that guy. The thing to remember about Sindum is that most of their soldiers are either drones or robots. So really, your best bet is to hack into their system itself and disable these defenses. That's what we're planning, at least.
That makes sense. I don't think Lord Mars is feeling at the top of his game, so I would suggest that we wait until he is able to be a part of it. Last time we went in underpowered, one of us got killed. Nearly two of us got killed.
That's the risk you have to take sometime, depending on the time frame you're dealing with.
True. I think we could wait a little bit longer. We're also deputies of the UPM, and we've abandoned our. We are in flagrant violation of not being at our pre-designed post, so we should at least make an attempt to do our contract.
How extensive is UPM?
As far as what?
Like, are they a serious governing body or entity? They have a lot of power and sway.
Yes, they do. As far as militarily wise, not as much as Cinder. but as far as a government and like they're one of the three that control the different quadrants in this sector.
So it could be potentially very negative consequences for us to be in violation of leaving our post after being deputized.
Correct.
Yeah.
Also, it's a lot of money for almost no work.
You have to think of it this way. The UPM is pretty much Estonia, and Sindum is the USSR at full strength. Huge power difference, but both governments.
So, do we have copies of the paperwork that we signed when we were deputized?
I'm sure Hal Craith would have gotten copies of the paperwork.
Okay, so can I do an administer check to see if there's any way of legally getting out of this contract?
We do lose 25,000 space bucks if we try and get out. And it's a 10-day job.
Yes, you could do a administer check, yes.
I would especially like to be able to break the contract without losing the money.
Also, for a 10-day job, we get 25,000 credits. So,
Right.
in our job, we were assigned to patrol the Zeal system. So if we sit in the Zeal system for 10 days, we basically just get free money.
So long as there's nothing that requires our intervention. I got a 7.
You don't have to look too hard. There is early termination. But you have to surrender basically the remainder of what you have been paid. And there is a 10,000 space buck fee for that early termination.
So Hellcrate's going to look to Lana and Ori and say, yeah, we need to get into that system and do our patrol. The consequences would not be good.
It's basically free money. I mean, we saw the UPM soldiers there, and they were just sitting around doing nothing anyway. Yeah. And they were being paid handsomely to do it.
Yeah, the UPM's not really much of a force to be reckoned with on any term.
Well, since we are in this quadrant a decent amount, having them drawing their ire would make things inconvenient at the very least.
What's the time frame for rescuing these people?
I mean, they would like, the sooner the better, but, you waiting. I mean,
they've been in there for years, some longer.
So they don't, they're not in jeopardy of being, executed.
Yeah.
So.
Plus, we still have to find out how to actually... Well, we have a code to get in there, but then we don't have any actual way to, why are we here? To prisoner transfer or something? That's not going to work.
So the two guys that are talking, one of them comes over and whispers in this Zabrak's ear and then walks away. Seems that you're deputized in UPM then.
We are.
If you can go to Jukarata, which is in the herd system, there is a group called Regretful Affliction. They've been known to sell viruses. You could upload the virus into the prison computer system when you arrive.
Regretful what?
Affliction. There's a person there by the name, he goes by the name of Herald of Zeus.
Well, he certainly doesn't think too highly of himself, does he?
Also, you probably want to be on your way. Reports is that Karos has landed, and he is making his way in.
Then it's definitely for the best that we make good speed.
We have met Karos. He at least knows us. This is not a cause for concern. But yes, we should head out.
Well, let's get going then.
Sure. I'll grab my backpack full of my stuff and start making my way.
Okay. So the Zabrak walks you over to like a side entrance, like a door, and you just kind of like open the door and are walking out like a secret side exit of this of the Lion's Paw. So as you're walking out to go out the front door, you can see that the bartender is in the air, and there is like a praying mantis like creature holding him by the neck, and he's like squeezing, and he's like, and you just hear him said, "Where is Jagger Fells?" And he's just like squeezing him. And you see the Zabrak come, like run over and like try to like de-escalate the situation. And there's also nobody in the bar. They've all fucking run out.
As they should.
I whisper to Ori, and they wonder why they can never seem to defeat Sindoom.
Fighting all the wrong enemies.
Exactly.
Let's just let Orthopter do his thing.
So you head out. The street vendor tries to get you to buy some Eddington potatoes as you leave, since they're the only potatoes that seem to grow on these remote desert planets.
Just walk by and mumble, "Keep those things away from me. No more of them, thank you."
Those do not provide me sustenance. Dustin left.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, maybe it's loading.
He was that upset to hear we didn't want potatoes.
So you get back on the ship, and Sherry is noticeably, you can hear him snoring in the chair.
Is your
So
pilot?
for now, and then Hillcraith will go and knock Cherry and be like,
Hunger's gonna pop a cherry.
yes. And say, we have a destination. Are you going to be able to get us there this time?
Of course I am. It looks like we've set a course for Jukarata. Yep, we have. Is that where we're headed?
We need to get to the... We need to get to the... Are we heading to Jukarata first, or are we heading to the Zeal system to complete our mission?
I believe we said Jukarata first, since we have to go there anyway on the way to the Zeal system. And they might take time at Jukarata to get ready what we need.
Oh, okay. So yes, then you heard right, Sherry.
Yeah, set a course. Apparently set a course already. So, and I got fuel.
Oh, good.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Lord Mars.
Right, so do it.
Okay. So the ship begins to hover and take off and leave the planet behind. Drift system. So, yeah.
Then swarm, then herd.
Yeah.
On
So,
the
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna like a logistics question. On sectors without number, there's the colored lines for the routes. What do the colored routes mean?
They don't mean. They shouldn't mean anything.
Okay.
They're just like space lanes.
Okay. I didn't know if there was a difference between red or white or black.
No, it's just space lanes.
Okay.
So you guys enter the meta-dimensional space. You spike drive in a flash. 1-2 seconds pass. You are now in swarm system. There's a huge space station. This is Vanguard Nebula shipbuilding station. There's all these ships as the space lane goes right by it. So basically, you got to wait like an hour for the spike drive to charge back up again to make another jump into herd. So, Lana, welcome aboard. What brings you here?
Oh, usual things. Vacation, looking for work. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm obviously a probationary period. I'm sure we'll both be probies together. If you could help me with some of the paperwork, because there's an awful lot of it to fill out, I'd appreciate that.
Do you have it with you?
Yeah, it's still printing in the back. I had to change the toner a while ago.
I'll walk towards the back. How much paperwork is there?
I don't know, Hal Craith, how much paperwork they got to fill out?
A lot.
You got your I-9s, your I-10s, your I-11s.
Yeah.
Yeah, your beneficiary forms. You got your
waiver to any kind of benefits whatsoever.
No.
There are no benefits here.
You will be responsible for your own costs of health.
So if you get hurt, make sure it's on a socialist planet.
Right. There is no such thing as disability.
Or hazardous duty pay.
Right.
Or accidental death and dismemberment.
Right.
That's a perk.
Any death or dismemberment is considered intentional on the party who has been mutilated.
Intentional mutilation. God, you're into some good shit, ain't you, son? Hey, baby, I don't mean to brag, but I, too, like to slip my wrists from time to time. There you go. We cut him.
So the hour passes unless you guys do anything specific you want to talk about here. As you wait and see different ships go in and out of the shipbuilding station.
Who owns the station?
Vanguard Nebula.
Vanguard Nebula. Okay, and are they a subsidiary of any state, or are they private enterprise?
As far as you know, they're private.
Okay. Very good.
Which system are we in right now?
Swarm.
Okay, that's what I thought. And we were coming from the business, just one, right?
You came from Drift. You skipped right over business. Well, you went through it. You didn't stop.
Okay. And I have the sectors without number site open now, so I'm actually able to follow along.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the hour passes. Spike drive again. Meta-dimensional space opens. It's like 1-2 seconds flash. And you are now in the herd system.
with the 5 various planets right outside Jukarata, which is the furthest planet in the solar system. Like it's right up here, right there. It is the one that's tidally locked. So one side is always light, one side dark. You know that it's a night world. There's also a police state. This is where the infamous bombing at the nightclub happened. And there's just, it's like crawling with UPM ships. You were there for like, as soon as you get there, like 10 seconds, you get pinged with all these different communications. And one comes over the comm. It's like, this is Cal from UPM Dispatch. Free Merchant Cal. When did you change your name? It wasn't Cal. Anyway, I don't care. Free Merchant Kelly, where are you at? I haven't gotten a report back. I sent you to Zeal system, but we haven't heard anything. Hello?
It's better just to ignore them at this time, I think.
Well, to do so would be insubordination.
Let's say we're back. We had to get repairs due to communication problems.
But we didn't.
But we thought about it, and it's the thought that counts.
No, it's the action that counts, and we didn't.
We're performing the action.
As I said, let's just ignore them.
Free Merchant Kelly, are you there? This is UPM Dispatch. This is Cal.
Can they do that? Do communications have like a read receipt? Like, do they know that like we've got?
Do they know if they've heard?
Like Facebook Instant Messenger. See that?
Yeah, or is it like a blast out, and then there's not really like any feedback mechanism to let them know that it hit something? And I guess I wouldn't know about their specific tech, but just knowing about like communication tech in general.
I would say in general, there's a program that you would know if somebody has like listened to what you've said, but whether like they've actually listened, it's kind of unreliable.
Gotcha.
Just play really loud mariachi music. They think we won't be able to hear them. Were we given a phone number for Regretful Affliction or the Herald of Zeus? Or just told to find them?
You were given like coordinates to where they would be.
Okay.
The ship seems to be headed in that direction, of course.
Oh, good.
So are you just going to ignore this guy? Hope he goes away.
That would be my vote, obviously.
Okay.
Just do what we need to do. The guy who cannot lie on a ship which is performing many illegal activities. What could possibly go wrong?
Or you'd like kind of look around and just like I feel like we should say something.
Why?
They have a mechanism, yet unreliable as it may be, to know whether or not a message has been at least received.
Then block it. There's no good message that we can return to them that would provide us with the ability to move freely as we are desiring to do so.
All right, I'll like open up my data pad to see if I can like jam whatever any signals, or mess the protocol.
Okay.
Just add them to the blocked caller list.
Go ahead and roll for it.
Basically, I'm going to see like if I can jam the signal going out. So that's a 9.
Yeah, you get in there and you know that you can probably cut off any kind of signature that the ship is giving, if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly it.
My character wouldn't know this, but my player knows that we have a signature emission mask, which makes us appear as any other ship we like, as long as we're not within visual range.
Is that hidden in the armory?
No.
Do we have like a spec of our ship?
I sent it.
I didn't get a read receipt.
You get another communication. This is Heavy Frigate Sunstar UPM. Yeah, your identifier just shut off. I know you're a deputized ship, but you need to turn that identifier on so we know that you are part of UPM. Can you just go ahead and fix that for me?
All right, let's go. Let's do what we need to do.
So yeah, I'll fix it. I'll turn it back on so they know that we're UPM.
Thank you, Free Merchant. Kelly, it is. If you don't have any outstanding missions, we've got one at Jukarata we'd like you to take care of.
We can do that.
Excellent. We're going to send you the coordinates right now. We don't have the manpower. If you can handle that for us, we'd appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, right on it.
Okay. Sunstar out.
So, yeah, bye.
You see this heavy frigate just turn and head in another direction.
That was easy.
Yeah, so let's do what we need to do now.
So looking at the coordinates or this mission, is there any details about it?
It starts to come over the system. It starts to it shows you coordinates. It's in a place called the Frozen Bones Frontier. It's outside Jukarata, fairly close.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's fairly close to where the Regretful Affliction was pinged. Probably like 20 kilometers away, which is like 12 miles. The reports are that there is a group going through the slums there at the Frozen Bones Frontier abducting kids.
And we're stopping them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those kids belong to UPM, no one else. They can't abduct the kids.
Well, that's quite convenient we'll at least be there anyway.
Right, we can take care of this and the regretful affliction computer virus within the same parameters.
Now, is this the world without a atmosphere that we can use? So we have to have vac suits or
Yeah, you're gonna need. There's these things called.
Is it an Atmo something?
Free. They're like there's these economic enrichment zones,
Oh,
but those
okay.
shut down. So that's like outside the economic enrichment zones. So these are.
Okay.
The temperature is about negative 25 Celsius.
All right.
At least I'll have my combat armor on this time, rather than that secured clothing. I'll feel like.
So it's like negative 13.
Yep.
So what equipment will we need to survive this outside?
Well, Ori would have a vac suit, and I would assume that Lana would have a vac suit. Do you need a vac suit? Yeah, you do, because you'd wear one anyway.
Right. So I'm always wearing at least, if not a vac suit, at least some kind of atmosphere generator
Mm-hmm.
for my head.
Yep.
But if we're going into that low of a temperature, I imagine that my character might need. Well, I don't know, because thinking about a creature like my character. Well, what's the temperature like normally on? What's old Menzo? Temperate. Okay. So then, yeah, in that case, I would probably need a suit to protect from the cold as well.
Yeah.
But I'd probably just wear a full vac suit.
Now, there's a couple that have been repaired with duct tape and one that smells bad. So
You'll be fine.
Does it smell worse than corrosion?
Well, it was for one of the rat people, so
Oh, would it even fit me?
probably not. You probably have a special vac suit that fits you.
Yeah.
Don't forget the ship has enough vac suits for all the crew in the armory.
We've got approximately one Hulkrith-sized vac suit.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's not damage it. All right, so are we ready to leave the ship or to get the ship where we need to go?
I assumed it landed.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright, so
how
then
close to the area do you want to be?
I mean, we don't have a car, so we should probably land as close as we can.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a walk.
We got everything in the armory except the vehicle.
Those cost about 5,000 apiece.
I mean, where would you get the money?
Yeah, we could buy it later if we want. That's easy enough.
Sherry has elected to stay with the ship. I mean,
Why would you possibly want to do that?
This is fine.
Okay, so how many of the slaves did we give vac suits and mag rifles to?
There's no need for them to defend themselves.
I was going to use them in the offense.
So are we on Jukarata right now, or are
Yep.
we?
Yep, you're
Okay,
in Jukarata.
What's the gravity like on Jukarata?
It is close to. It's very close to like normal gravity for everybody else.
Okay, so average Earth gravity-ish.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Only about 5 or 6 Gs.
So once we landed, Hellcraith would be going out the door.
Okay.
And Ori would follow, make sure he's behind this time, not leading the charge.
I'll join him afterwards.
Okay.
I have my warhammer, my inertial dampening warhammer drawn.
Okay.
That's
So
my preferred method of destruction and eating.
So these are basically abandoned concrete buildings with maybe like a wall that's come down. There's no windows. Everything is like haphazard, put together. There are, if you have any kind of thermal imaging, you would realize that there's small fires in each of these little places, and there are people huddled around them.
I don't think low light goggles give me thermal imaging.
If you can,
I mean,
smell,
I have a special. I have a third eye made specifically for thermal stuff, but I don't think it would be sensitive enough to see through walls.
Yeah. So this, it's like there's a bunch of buildings, but basically like concrete falling down, and people have kind of like made shelters out of. You would guess that either maybe a war had wiped, damaged them, or just time, something catastrophic.
Okay. Yeah, the book doesn't have actually anything for thermal imaging in the equipment stuff. What an oversight. I will have to fix that later.
So we're on the light side of the planet, right?
Dark.
Dark.
It's freezing here. You said it was negative 17F?
It's negative 25 Celsius or negative 13 Fahrenheit. It's cold.
Okay.
So Ori's gonna he pulls out his data pad and does a few taps, and like his eyes start glowing with like a yellow light.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, he has night vision implants.
I pull my goggles on.
Okay. So you guys are just walking. You don't really notice. You don't see anybody. You know that there are people around, though. There's, and around a corner of like a street comes an armored vehicle. So this is a tech level 2 planet. So obviously an armored vehicle is kind of not an ordinary sight. It says Jukarata on it, Jukarata Police. They got a big spotlight that they're shining on all the buildings.
I try to find some cover to hide behind. Well, more concealment than cover, but both are possible.
Hellcraith would probably just stand where he is.
Okay.
I mean, as far as he's concerned, he's operating under the jurisdiction of the UPM, so...
Right.
Yep. Were we told who these people were that were kidnapping the kids, or did they not?
No, they just know somebody they were told was kidnapping them.
Well, if it's anything like the UN peacekeepers, it's probably the police.
What's Ori doing? He as Lana takes cover.
After learning about the last battle, I'm gonna take cover behind Hellcraith.
Peeking out behind him.
So
Use the rock for cover.
So during the last shootout, there was no cover. So both Jonathan and Ori took cover behind Lord Mars, and just sort of like shooting around him and like using him for total cover.
He was like a fleur-de-lis of death.
And
So
nobody could hit us, and nobody could hit Lord Mars. So it actually worked out really well.
Until they could hit us, and then I died.
So I take cover behind Hellcraith.
Okay. So the vehicle gets about, I don't know, it gets fairly close, shines the big light on it. You can see a minigun like move in your direction. The door opens and a person in like a black vac suit comes out. Hey, who are you?
I'm Hellcraith.
And
you are?
Jukarata Police. So you part of those UPM? You one of those UPM mercs? Deputized bunch?
I would not call us mercs, but we were deputized by UPM.
Good, man. I haven't had a break from this patrol in days.
All right, can you give us details of exactly what it is that this patrol is meant to be looking for?
Yeah, there's a group going around. There's some missing kids. We think they're associated with Diamond Quartz, that weird psychic dude.
Diamond Quartz.
Yeah.
Do you have a location for this individual?
Well, he's out of the Zeal system, but I think some of his people are here.
And what intelligence have you gathered regarding this person's people?
There's probably a team of about 6 of them moving around.
All right. Is there anything specific about these children that make them worth taking?
No.
Do you know it? And so Ori, seeing that this is not a hostile encounter or person, will pop out behind Halkrith and say, "I'm Ori. You gave me a startle. Have you met any of the children prior to them being taken, or have any background information regarding who they are, where they came from?"
They came from the slum here. That's about it.
No papers, no descriptions, prospects, hobbies, interests,
No.
girlfriends.
Have any preventative measures been taken to protect the remaining children? Do you even know how many remaining children there are? Or are they untagged litters?
We prefer cubs. Thank you very much.
We don't have any demographic information.
What information do you have?
I just told you.
Wonderful. Well, I can see that you guys have been doing a great job.
So they are like the UN.
Well, we'll take a look. I suppose sounds like you guys could use a little bit of a break.
But yeah, these credits aren't going to spend themselves.
Just do me a favor on your way back. Can you pick up some space Doritos? Particularly, preferably Cosmic Cool.
See what they have. It's a hot commodity.
I understand.
So he walks back and gets in the armored vehicle, and they spin the tires and haul ass out of there.
They really need to adjust the gear ratio on that thing.
All right.
Yep.
Sounds like they did absolutely nothing.
All right, so I think we should go and speak with some of the locals. They might have some more information. It's clear that the Jukarata police have not taken even the smallest semblance of procedural actions.
Yeah.
And then of course, Hellcraith pulls out a book of procedures that outlines the basic procedures of pretty much anything you would have questions about.
It's like a spell book, but with procedures. Oh, I got a new procedure. Let me write that down.
Every time you gain a level, you gain 2 new procedures.
Yeah, so can I do like an administer check to see what the best procedure is to start?
Yeah, you can.
I am looking to use this administer skill at every possible opportunity.
I think that would be pretty funny to have use a spell book, a procedural handbook,
Yeah.
and have that grant you abilities, or at least like abilities to like interface with things.
Yeah.
Like I think that would be a cool mechanic.
I rolled a 7.
So what procedure are you looking to do?
For investigating.
Yeah, it's definitely in your best interest. According to this part of the book, to interview the locals about specifically what has happened.
I knew it, and I hold up the book. We got to go and interview the people.
You know who might be a good person to interview is the police mentioned that they think that there's this diamond quartz fellow who might be associated with these missing kids. The regretful affliction may have heard or at least know something of this diamond quartz and their motives.
So let's see. You guys would know that diamond quartz is a psionic faction. Diamond quartz is a person.
So it's a person and an organization?
Correct.
Good old DQ.
Yep. And their followers are called DQs.
So it might, regretful affliction might they may have some knowledge of what diamond quartz is doing out here.
Well, how far is the regretful affliction base from here?
It
I
was
think
about,
we landed close.
It's 20.
I thought it was like 12 miles, 20 clicks.
Yeah, it's 20 kilometers away.
Well, since
not
we're here, we
impossible,
might
Paul.
as well first talk to some of the locals that we can see. And then Hellcraith will be like, hey, you!
Give me a talk roll.
I don't know what that is, but I assume I have a -1 on it.
It's a talk.
Actually, that's not bad. I rolled an 11, so... Oh, but you add your ability to it,
Yeah.
right?
Charisma.
So my charisma is -1, so -2 total. So I got a 9 though.
Okay.
Not bad.
So they stop like they're gonna like duck down an alley and just kind of walk over very cautiously. You can see that they're kind of in rags and they're wearing all sorts of clothing, like 4 different coats.
So tell us what you know about the missing children.
Well, what about the kids, man? What do you want to know?
We are hunting the scum that are taking them.
You got some fuel or something to burn? That'd be nice.
We're the ones asking questions here.
He he points to like one of the buildings and says, in there, one of their kids, they sold one of their kids.
Soul.
Maybe I said that, maybe I didn't, but it's freezing out here, man. Can I go now?
Hellcraith will look to Ori and Lana. Do we have anything that we can give them to burn?
Your ship, not mine.
No. At least not that I don't think we have any. I mean, I guess I could check the medical bay. Like, do I know if, like, having been in the medical bay a couple times now because I've been severely injured, do I know of, like, if there's any sort of, like, standard that comes with that would, like, provide warmth, like a flare or like a pocket garbage can.
Hot hands.
Wait, as Ori is considering that, Hellcraith realizes that they have a nice, warm, toasty ship. And then so he turns and says, citizen of Jukarata, I can grant you, in exchange for accurate information, up to 20 minutes on our ship to warm yourself.
That ship right there?
The one that we just left from, yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And he points and says, yeah, they sold their kid. They were here like a day ago.
Sold
from Diamond Quartz, looking for special kids. And yeah, they sold them.
Do you know what makes these kids special?
I don't know.
So they sold their child.
Psychic.
What did they receive in return for selling their child?
I don't know. I just heard. I just heard it.
Why are these children being reported as kidnapped?
I don't know.
Is this an insurance scam?
What's insurance?
Wow.
Something only warm people can afford.
Most caring thing ever.
So he pointed to the people that we could talk to who sold the kid, right?
Yeah, he pointed to the building, yeah.
Okay. So Hellcraith will produce a receipt for the information that he's provided. And then also say, go to the ship and ask for Cherry. Let them know that we granted you access to the ship and only the common area hold for 20 minutes, and then he is to kick you out.
Oh, okay, and he grabs it and just starts to run to the ship.
If you are there when we are there, you will be killed.
Sick.
As they run, Ariel turned to, I was like, I don't trust them at all.
Okay. So yeah, he bangs on the door opens and he goes in. All right.
Go talk to these people?
Yeah.
So you head over to the building. There's like a makeshift door that they have, put up. You hear a noise that sounds like a zipper, like somebody opening like a huge like zipper.
and you hear it sounds like vinyl or something, or like plastic, and you hear the door unlock and it opens, and there's a human who is, of course, still got a bunch of coats and scarves, and hey, can I help you?
Yes, we're investigating the disappearance of children in this area. We were hoping we could chat with you for a few minutes.
Sure. Come quick. Come inside. Don't let all the heat out.
So I'll quickly go in.
Okay. So he ushers you in. It's like a small room that they've got like a big vinyl plastic tarp over with like a zipper, and there's like some vents. There's a huge barrel. They're burning like these briquettes, and you see like they've got like a stack of them, and there's like and on them is like it says UPM, and he walks over there and he picks up another brick and throws it on there, and it continues to burn. It's pretty warm in this room. It's him, and there's a woman there, and there's like 3 little kids all standing near the fire. They've got like some soup that they're eating. There's some toys they're playing with, like some of their possessions. You can see that the other part of the room that there is other items in here. Hard to see, like maybe they're like clothes or some tools or something, but just they're generally huddled in this room.
It's quite warm in here. You've done a good job in keeping the heat and keeping the cold out.
Thank you.
So as I said, we're investigating the disappearance of children.
Yes.
We heard that there was a child at this residence who has gone missing.
No, not missing. No. No.
So it's true that you sold your child?
Yes.
And what did you get in exchange for your child?
Some credits enabled us to buy these bricks here to help keep the fire warm. And
what was it that made your child valuable enough to sell to the individuals that you sold them to?
Well, this group came. She called herself Rose Zircon. She wore some sort of robes, and she said she could see beyond. She said my child exhibited certain talents and gifts, and offered me a fair price. Take him off this rock and give him a better life, and of course I'm all for that.
It is your child. It is your property to do with as you please.
Yes.
How old is your child, or was your child?
He was about 11.
Was he or she? He. Was he reluctant to go, or did he look forward to the venture?
There was some emotion involved, but he'll be stronger for it, better off.
How is it that these children are being reported as kidnapped? The Jukarata police force seemed to believe that these children were being taken against their will.
I don't know.
And the will of their family.
I'm not sure. They seemed pretty upfront and honest with me, this group that came. Told me exactly what they're doing.
Do you know of any other families who have had their children go missing or have sold their children to these individuals?
There's another I work with. He had some kids. Maybe you can speak with him.
Did they sell them to the same? Did he sell them as well?
I've not spoken, but I would guess his child definitely
exhibited certain abilities that same as mine.
What abilities did your child have?
He could pick up things with his mind.
I see.
I'm not understanding the situation. It doesn't seem as if any illegal activity has been taking place.
No, it does not appear that way. Do you know if there's any were you given any contact information for from Rose?
No, they'd be taken to Zeal, I believe, planet of Thora. And they said that they would be in contact with me.
This seems all well and good. I was wondering if this group had any any enemies that perhaps would have been reported them missing, so as to try to rain suspicion on them.
Well, you know how psionics are treated. People are very skeptical. Some don't like them at all.
I don't think I've ever met a psionic.
Well, they don't usually advertise.
Well, in light of the information, I say we contact UPN and say that there is no crimes being committed. No children are being kidnapped. They've been misinformed.
We should first go ahead and investigate with their friend who had children. Just because one person sold doesn't mean that they've all agreed to sell, and they may have been taken. It's always important to do a thorough investigation.
Hellcraith looks in his book of procedures and then confirms, yes, you're right. Thorough is best.
Repeat steps 2 through 5 for as many people as you can see.
All right. So unless anybody else wants to stick around, Hellcraith would be heading over into the direction where the other family was indicated.
Yeah, he tells you where it is. It's like 2 blocks down. You guys pass other buildings, and okay, like some are like have doors and are set up like his. Others are just open with a fire, and there's just some people huddled around like something. They're burning whatever they can. Every once in a while, you catch somebody walking with one of these bricks. You end up at this other building. There's no door. They're just like in a big group. They've just got a big, huge fire going. There's like 10 of them. Just all kind of like huddled around, and they've got some kind of like packs of food, like freeze dried or something, like containers and boxes everywhere. Like these would be like meals to give out to, like aid meals that like a group would give out.
Hellcraith would not bother waiting or being subtle. He would just shout, "Who among you has lost a child either to being sold or kidnapped?"
One of the guys just pushes it out of the way, like scraggly beard, and he's got like a big knit cap, and he's like, "About time you showed up. They came and took my kid."
You did not sell the child?
Sell? Damn, no. Why would I sell my child?
For the profit.
Why else would you say?
Plus platinum, you know, the good stuff. Just like any Ferengi.
How was your child taken?
They came, this group of them came here, and they wanted to talk to all the children, and they like gave them like did some sort of, I don't know what they were doing. They brought out a doll or something, but then they all, then they selected my child, and the next thing you know, they were taking him away. They said that he would be in a better place and that he would learn his abilities.
And you did not consent to this?
No. Why would I consent to this?
What can you tell us about the group?
There was like 4 or 5 of them. One was this older woman, called herself Rose or something. I don't know. She looked like she was in charge.
Do you know where
These
they went?
damn psionics. You need to do something about them.
Has your child displayed any
No.
psionic tendencies?
No. And if they did, I'd beat them out of them.
Did you have any kind of tracking chip planted on your child?
What? No. Why would I do that? I don't even know what that is.
It is a tech level 2.
Oh, right.
Like World War I tech.
Can you tell us at least the direction that these people left when they took your child?
Yeah, they headed like a couple clicks over to the next town.
You're sure they? How did you know that's where they went?
Because I watched them.
What was
Is the next town like close enough to see from here?
You can see faintly like lights in the distance.
Okay.
What was your child's name?
Daniel.
Did Daniel seem hesitant to leave? Or did he just go?
He was confused. He didn't know what he was doing. They tricked him.
What is the developmental level of your child?
He knows how to take care of himself. What do you mean?
Is he considered an adult among your kind, or
Of course he's
lesser?
an adult. Yes,
How
he
old
may be
was-
my child, but he is 13, 14.
Did your
15?
child consent to go with these people?
I didn't catch the conversation they had. He just left with them.
Did he struggle?
That's beside the point. You need to bring him back. They took him from me.
We can
He was
go.
obviously they're obviously using their mind controls. And that's what this group does.
We
They
can
play
go.
tricks on people's minds. They are dangerous.
Have you encountered them before this?
No. No.
What has been your experience with psionics individuals?
Look around you. This is my experience. Why do you think this is this way? Why do you think Jukarata is in this condition?
Because it's
Damn psychic stucker germs!
because Jukarata is title locked, so half the planet's dark and half the planet's light.
Well, it's dark because of the scream and the skip that resulted from the psionics. That's what happened. That's why we have darkness.
Why don't you leave and go to a planet with light?
What? No, the list is many kilometers long to leave the planet. I don't have the bribe money for the police to get off.
What are your laws and customs regarding age of consent?
For what? You keep what you kill.
So, by that token, had this group taken or killed your child, they would be entitled to your child?
Those would be us of the planet, not outsiders. They're clearly outsiders.
Is that strictly written within your laws?
Is this your point, man? Can I talk to somebody else instead of a big rock?
No, he's the best we got.
At the moment.
I
So
don't know if
the
there's
child consented to leave. You said that the child is of age to be considered an adult. So is there a law stating that there is a point that your child is considered your property or requires your consent?
He doesn't know better.
But what does the law say?
What law?
Your laws. The laws of Jukarata.
Are you talking about the laws here in the Frozen Bones frontier? Are you talking about the UPM Jukarata laws that are only for those elites?
The
What
UPM
laws are you talking
Jukarata laws.
You're just like the Jukarata police.
Yes, we've been hired by them. We are an extension of them.
Yeah, we are those guys. Yeah, that's right.
We are the law.
All right, yeah, so he is infuriated, pissed off. He just turns from you and then turns around and he has brandished a revolver and he's going to shoot you.
Okay. I'll do a sudden action and shoot him first.
All right, go ahead.
Let's say 19 minus 4, so
Why is it a -4?
because it's a snapshot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's definitely a hit.
Okay, and that's a mag rifle for 15 points of damage.
So yeah, you turn and blast this guy before he can fire. You hit him square in the chest, like the blood starts to like soak through, and his 4 jackets become stained with blood. He just barely can hold the revolver. He's attempting to shoot Hellcraith. And that would be a 14. Does that hit?
That misses.
So yeah, he just kind of like, it just fires and skips off. You can hear it hit like the concrete wall. But that got everybody else.
I like to actually imagine that it hits Hellcraith, but just bounces off his rocky hide. Like
Okay.
deflects off.
Yep. Bing. So then we get to roll initiative.
The best part is, I was going to say, even if they are consenting, we should still investigate in case this really is psychic coercion. Because we really should look into that. But no, this guy decides to pull out a gun instead. That's 8.
What do we add to our initiative?
It's a 1d8 plus your dexterity.
That's right.
All right, I rolled 3.
Ah, solid. That's a good one. I think it's strange that like for like the initiative roll that they just chose a D8. Like it's just like there's no other mechanic I know of in this. Yeah, I've been encountered in this game that uses a D8 except.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, you
So-
know what? We should probably use some of the other die in this besides the D20 and a D6.
All right, Silvana.
Okay. Well, who is it? Just him, or have other people started gathering arms here?
Well, okay. Give me a notice roll.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening, except we're suddenly rolling initiative. That's a... I have to get my character sheet. God damn it. Next I'm going to have to think. Yeah, that's a 10.
Yeah, there's about 9 other people. You would suspect that the majority of them are starting to grab their weapons.
How far away are they from each other?
So this guy would be about 3 meters away.
And the other people?
They're probably 10 meters away.
Yeah, relatively clustered together.
Yeah. 'Cause
I'm
it's
tossing a
cold.
flashbang in.
Okay, very good.
Yep. That's a 23 to have the flashbang land in the middle of them.
Okay.
And I sent you the information on flashbangs. Let's see if I
Okay.
can find where it is.
All right.
But they should be horrendously disoriented and have a bunch of negatives, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
for I think 1d4 turns. To send you a lot of shit.
Did you find it?
I'm looking right now. God damn it. I have to go through all the stuff I've sent you over a very long time. There it is. The Word doc open. It is, it explodes and stuns all targets within 15 meters for 1d4 turns. While stunned, the victim's movement is halved. They cannot use their actions and take a -8 to notice skill checks.
Okay. Do they get a save?
They get an evasion save to half the amount of time.
Okay. So go ahead and roll.
That is a 3.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you throw. You see Solana throw the flashbang. Boom. The most of them. It looks like one person rolled out of the way, like almost anticipated what was going to happen.
They're psychic. Target them.
Aim for the psychic!
So they are all stunned. This guy's he's got his revolver. He reaches up again to shoot Hellcrate with his mighty 6. If you want it to bounce off you, can.
Yeah.
The other guy pulls out a shotgun and will fire. 16. Does that hit you, Hellcrate?
Yeah.
All right. Not the heavy machine gun. Melee weapon. Oh, come on, Okay. So he does 6 damage as he blasts this shotgun at you.
Okay.
Halcraith, you're up.
So this person that shot me with the shotgun hurt, but there's this guy who's prone right next to me shooting up at me.
He isn't prone yet. He's staggered and does not look in good shape.
Oh, I thought he fell to the ground.
He didn't fall to the
when he
ground.
got
He's just
shot.
barely holding his gun and like revolver and just trying to shoot you.
Okay. But that guy, he's right next to me, whereas the guy with the shotgun is a little bit away.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna try and hit the dude that's shooting me, who originally started all this garbage. It's a 10.
Don't think that's...
Is his armor class at least a 13?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, you know what? This guy pissed me off, so I'm just going to make it a success because of my warrior ability.
Yep.
I can do that once per scene, I believe. Yeah, once per scene.
Yep.
So he takes 7 damage as I hit him with my inertial dampening warhammer.
Yeah. He goes down. He is out.
Can I have it smash his head like a grape?
Yep. Crunch. Blood flies everywhere.
Excellent. And then after that, I will use my movement to get into range of the shotgun dude.
Okay. Ori.
Lessons learned. I'm gonna dive behind Hawkeye, even with my sweet new combat armor.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move behind Hallcraith, and I pull out the special mag pistol,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna take a shot at the guy who missed, who didn't get flashbanged.
Okay, yeah, he's the one with the shotgun who hit Halcraith.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a pop out and hit him.
Okay.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Did you get a 1?
A 2.
Oh, okay.
Only slightly better. So the shot goes a little bit wide, but thanks to my new ability, I still do 1d4 damage, even if I miss.
Nice.
So he takes 4 damage.
All right.
Is a shotgun considered a two-handed weapon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so as long as Hellcraith is right next to him, he can't even make attacks with it.
Nope.
Does this game have attacks of opportunity?
Only if you're in melee range, I believe.
Yeah, there's something like that.
Lana, you're up.
Okay, I see everyone's still disoriented, so I'm just gonna aim at the guy with the shotgun now.
Yep.
And shoot him, because fuck that guy. He's psychic, obviously, and he's controlling all these people. We're saving them. That is a 16 total.
Yeah, it's a hit.
14 points of damage.
Yeah, that almost brings him down. He was hurt pretty bad. Yay. So, Halcraith, give me an attack as he tries to back away from you to shoot you because you're in close range with him.
I'm going to take out one of my metal dice for this one. Let's fuck that guy. Damn it. 10.
Yeah, he ducks out of the way.
Is his armor class 13 by chance? Or lower?
Yes.
Okay, so he still takes shock damage. He takes 3 points of shock damage.
All right, that's enough to kill him.
All right, can I smash his head like a grape too?
No, he has a heart attack instead of shock damage.
Yeah, so, well, he swings and, like, ducks, but as he ducks, due to his injuries, that, like, makes him go prone, and then you just swing right back around and club him in the head. And
Excellent.
all right, so we've got 5 of them are stunned. These 3, they're going to have to make... Yeah, they all fail. They all begin to get up and start to run for the door. There's 3 of them just like running to get the hell out of here. Hal Craith, you're up.
Are there any that are not running?
There's 5 that are still disoriented. They're stunned. They're like lying on the ground, but 3 have gotten up and just running for the door.
Okay. Are there weapons in any of the hands of the people that are stunned?
No, they dropped all their weapons.
All right. So can I go up to one of them and ready an attack for if they try to grab a weapon?
Okay. All right.
So when they come to, they're gonna see me standing over them with my hammer.
Ori.
The ones that are running, did they initially appear hostile? Like before Lana chucked a flashbang at them? Or did they look like surprised?
Give me a notice roll.
All right. 9.
You know, 2 out of 3 at least have weapons that are running for the door.
Okay.
But hostile targets.
Let's see. What should I do? Well, I guess I'm gonna take aim at like the front one, whatever one's in front.
I believe that's Elizabeth Warren, the front runner.
Well, this is being recorded, so I'm
honest.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take a shot at the one that's in front of the crowd.
Okay.
All right, that's not a 2.
Damn.
It's a 12.
That's what you need.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Man. Shit. I'm hitting somebody, guys.
I wasn't prepared for this.
What am I supposed to do? Shit.
Actually, that's a 13 because I didn't realize I have a base attack bonus now.
It's a crit.
Man, this is a whole new turn. This new level. So that's a 6.
All right.
6 damage.
Nice. Okay. So they continue to run. Ori blasts one of them. Lana, you're up.
Which ones have firearms or weapons on them? Of the 3 running.
Give me a notice roll. Add +1.
That's a 8.
Yeah, two of them. One that Ori shot, and the one in the middle doesn't appear to have a weapon. It's hard to see.
Then, well, the person in front's still in front, so might as well shoot him again.
Okay.
Yep, we'll do that. That's a 13.
Yep.
Not a very good roll. And that's 19 damage.
Good Lord. Yeah, they make it. They just get to the door, and you just gun them down. Is this the mag pistol or something else?
This is the mag rifle.
Yeah.
2d plus 2.
Yeah, it just cuts them down. Ori slowed them, and you just finished them off.
And I keep advancing on them.
Okay.
Just walking slowly towards them. Like the psalm.
All right, one guy, one of them gets to the door. The other one runs out the door. And then you hear the sound. You would know, Lana, you would know. You hear the sound of a minigun go off.
Does it sound like a UPM minigun?
Yeah. I mean,
We know different variations.
yeah. Halcraith, these guys become they're not stunned anymore, and they just kind of stay away from their weapons. They are not attempting to attack, as they have noticed their two comrades or friends or whoever associates with their brain matter splattered everywhere.
Halcraith would say, "Wise choice. Now leave."
They begin to get up. They're like, okay. We didn't want any trouble. They turn and begin to exit and run out the door. Again, you hear the minigun go off.
What does
I'm
that
not sure
sound?
telling them to leave is the best idea. That's a minigun. Remember the police vehicle?
Yes, but I thought they were off duty at this point.
So
Let's look outside.
So you go up to the door, stepping over the body that you had killed. They are all in the street, dead, cut in half. The armored vehicle is out there. One of the door opens, and the one of the Jukarata police comes out in his black vac suit. Yep, good work, fellas, good work. Nice. We picked up the shots on our sensors. Luckily, we're on our way back anyway. Just a couple more reports.
As long as these were lawful deaths.
As he's stepping over the body, sure, they were all armed, I'm pretty sure. Or running, or doing something. There's probably some law that they were violating. Nice work, you fleshed them out.
We must speak.
Okay.
The kidnappings that you sent us to investigate.
Right,
From what we can gather, there were no kidnappings. These children were either freely sold or consented to leave with these people.
Yeah, well, guess we can close the book on that one. Good work.
Yes.
Is that one twitching? Is that one still alive over there? And he pulls out his mag pistol.
Before he does that, Halcraith, if possible, would go and smash his head.
He's like, all right, well, okay. I thought that one was twitching. I appreciate it, friend.
No problem. And then he'll proceed to smash all of the other heads.
Okay.
I'm gonna head over to the guy who pulled the shotgun out and
Yep.
see if there's any identifying marks or anything on them, and if they did happen to be, psychic or something.
Hopefully it wasn't on their head.
Hopefully not.
Do psionics carry like some sort of token or a sign or scar that they are psionic?
Not necessarily, but they might have, DQ tattooed on them or something else there.
It's like an ass tattoo.
Yeah, a tramp stamp. DQ tramp stamp.
So yeah, as you go to like search the body, let's take a quick 5-minute break, right?
Okay.
That works.
Lana, so you went and investigated this dude, right?
Yeah.
All right, you find this tattoo on him.
Football tattoo. Do I recognize what that means?
You can do a no check.
Well, can I do a yes check instead and stay positive?
So it is on like his forearm.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's 11.
So you've heard of this group. It is a psionic group. They are the Church of the Eighth Divinity.
The Church of the Eighth Divinity. Also called the Bad News Bears.
They're also known as Aikmanites.
Uh-oh.
Perfect.
Nice. The Eighth Divinity.
Yep.
You also realize that they are Diamond Quartz. These are the two opposing factions. These are two groups that are opposed to each other. So this would be the opposing psionic faction.
Then, out of curiosity, I'm going to go to the guy who pulled out the revolver first and check him.
Whoa, no, dude, one's psychic.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's why he died second. Yes, I'm going to check the other guy then as well. I don't think he was psychic or part of this church, but this person might very well have said, no, your son was actually kidnapped by these people and you should tell the cops about it. You can never trust a psychic.
So yeah, the Jukarata police guy kind of talking to you and admiring Hal Crate's handiwork as he gets rid of the bodies, obliterates them, walks in and notices what you're doing. He's, oh, nice. I think that's a total of about 10. Good work. 10 less.
Seems that at least there's no crime being committed here. That'll free you guys up to do other things.
Yeah, well, we were, I mean, like I said, with the sensors were on. We picked up the gunshot, so we were headed back anyway. We heard the report of this Rose character, whatever, just a couple clicks away. So we were headed back. Do you find anything on these bodies? Anything worth noting? They got any credits or anything, or illegal weapons, or? But no, hopefully not illegal weapons. I don't want to have to fill out any forms.
Well, just the weapons around here on the ground. No
Yeah.
real credits or anything.
Yeah, well.
You said you were looking for this Miss Rose person?
Yeah, we got a report after we left you guys. Something came in from one of the drones that they picked up her. We heard something on the sensors. Somebody was talking about her. I think she's been sighted in one of the towns over, so we were just going to head that way. But you can follow us if you want. We could use your backup.
I think that could work.
Is where they're going the same direction as the regretful affliction?
It's not really out of the way. You know, it's not like it's going to put you hours out of the way.
It's kind of like a straight line, and there's several cities in between and townships.
I mean, after conducting investigation in this town, or with a few of the individuals here, it didn't sound like this Rose person was doing anything wrong. Is there any reason to pursue her?
Yeah, of course there is. She's related. She's associated with Diamond Quartz. That's a problem for us. They don't need to be here. We don't need psychics rolling around causing trouble. So,
what do you do if you have citizens who display psionic abilities and aren't as part of their just growing up, they just became that way? Do you kill them?
Are you? I mean, I don't really know of any. Yeah, they're taken care of by UPM, so I don't deal. We don't deal with them. We just report them. You know.
I see.
UPM deals with them.
What does UPM do with them?
I don't know. I don't care.
What do your laws say about psychics?
You know, it's pretty much illegal to be one.
Pretty much.
Yeah. There's a lot of gray area in the law. At least the way
that's why
interpret
it's
it.
the law.
That's the way I read it. And I got a minigun, so.
That is a convincing argument.
It is. So, yeah, let's, hey, why don't you guys run back up with us, and we'll just go take care of this Rose, what's-her-face, Diamond Quartz problem, and we'll just handle that.
If this is within our required obligation, then we shall do it.
Yeah, you're a licensed deputized UPM, so
yep.
This is like a UPM Jukarata joint mission. This will look great.
Very well, let's get on with it then. We just need to... Are we going to ride in the ship, or are we riding with them?
Well,
we'll ride in the ship.
Okay, because then we need to make sure that we have that dude kicked out.
I mean, it's probably been over 20 minutes anyway.
Right, but who knows if he overstayed and if Jerry actually, made him get out.
You think Lord Mars would let him stay longer than he's allowed?
Oh yeah, Lord Mars is in there too.
Yep.
So we might get there and he's already dead.
Lord Mars is pretty much Hitler, just with a nicer mustache.
So they give you the coordinates to meet for this town that's like, 6 kilometers over where she was last seen. They'll meet up with you. You get back to the ship. There is no mystery man in there. Sherry is sleeping, but there is like some empty space cola cans, like 4 or 5 on the floor, and
empty bags of Cosmic Cool Doritos that have been eaten.
Of course.
Ugh, these bastards. They raided our snack drawer.
What? Oh, what'd you say?
Sherry, what happened to all of the Doritos?
He had a receipt. He was a nice fella. Just wanted to come in from the cold.
The receipt entitled him to stay within the ship, not to engorge himself on our provisions.
He stayed right in the ship. I went and got the provisions.
This is coming out of
paying this guy?
This is coming out of your paycheck, Sherry.
Well, you know what they say about a good deed never goes unpunished.
Then how is it a good deed?
Feed the poor.
How dare you?
So we tracked down these kids or anything?
Yep, we have the coordinates. I'm uploading them to the system now. You should see them momentarily.
Okay. Oh, yep. And the ship begins to take off. Doesn't need to fly very high as it moves over gets into position fairly quickly and lands like a 30-second trip.
Mag swap flashbang rearmament.
Okay. So you guys meet outside like this crossroads of this town. It's the same general gist of these like concrete busted buildings, and when the Jukarata police, when you guys finally show up, the last few stragglers that were kind of checking out what was going on, they just haul ass. Get the hell out of there.
Nothing better than a good stealth mission.
So they said they tell you guys to go. They're gonna go down this one block and turn left, and because they think they're gonna they want you to basically come around behind them because they believe that they've got according to the drone, they're like one block down. So they're gonna approach from the front. You guys will approach from the back.
Okay.
Do we still hear the drone overhead?
It's not that big, so you'd really have to listen for it.
Okay.
He says they're in some kind of vehicle. He doesn't even think it's armored.
Mm-hmm.
So it should go pretty quick.
Okay. Let's go then.
All right. So the vehicle, they begin to roll forward very, very slowly. You guys in a tactical chevron formation, of course, head out past this building and go around like a side alley, past rocks and debris. Getting to the edge, as you peek around, there is like a group. You would guess that these are probably occupant. These are probably the same type of people you've run into already, with their 5 coats on and huddled around a small fire that they've made kind of like outside and like sort of like a lean-to shelter. And there is a woman standing there in robes, very underdressed for as cold as it is. Like she probably should be freezing. You can see she's got like bare feet, and she's just wearing just like a robe, and she's just like talking with somebody. There is just like some kind of vehicle. You can see the back of the vehicle, but it looks sort of like a box van or something. but it's got track wheels. Just nondescript. There's no writing or anything on it. It's not. It doesn't look like it has any kind of weapon system.
And we just see the back of it.
Yeah, you guys are like 50 meters away.
50?
50 meters, yeah. So at one point she is like, you can see she's talking to them. You can see there's like a kid, like in the group. The kid comes out, and one of the people who you would assume is part of her group, because they have like these vac suits that are like ivory white, and they're kind of lit up, so they have some kind of illumination. And they grab the kid's hand and they start to walk him over to the box truck. It's at that point, the Jukarata police, you can see them come around with their vehicle, and the minigun just opens up and starts to shoot all of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, it looks like they have the situation under control.
I'm in a prepared firing position, just sitting there waiting to see what happens.
Yeah. Are they opening up fire like on the child?
Everyone.
So the minigun goes off. The crowd of people who are around the barrel are just obliterated. They're just dusted. Body parts flying everywhere. She is there for a minute and then gone. The guys in the ivory back suits grab the kid and they like try to shield the kid, and you can see one guy is just getting pummeled by the minigun as he's like cradling the kid, and his body's just jumping in the air from being hit with the minigun. And then you see the vehicle like start to, like pieces of the vehicle that they were driving in, pieces of it go flying out. The door busts open, and these guys, these people in like the vac suits are grabbing these kids and running and trying to get in the side of the building as they're just like nailing this box truck.
So these people in the white suits, the minigun is not tearing them up?
Oh, it is. Yeah.
But the one that was guarding the kid managed to protect the kid?
He is like holding the kid like this. You can see the kid, right? From your vantage point, and his body is just jumping in the air from being hit.
Can we see the can we see in the Jukarata police car, can we see like the gunner?
No, it's there's no physical gunner. It's just it's unmanned. It's just a turret on top. They control it from the inside.
Gotcha. Well,
it's your guys' show, not mine.
We should. I think these police are out of control.
Oh, that much.
If they're operating within the laws of their jurisdiction, that's not our place to say.
It doesn't appear to be their laws to go ahead and gun down innocents.
We don't know if they're innocents.
Those people standing around that trash can on fire didn't look like they were hurting anybody.
In addition, law enforcement is normally supposed to go ahead and tell you to lay down your arms and surrender before shooting.
Yeah, but that's your law enforcement, not Jukarata's.
What is Jukarata's law enforcement? Would any of us know?
Effective.
Well, as As they said that normally UPM handles these psionics, and that's their matter. Given that we're the UPM deputies in the system, I think we can convince them that we can take it from here. Now that they've done the good work. Good work.
Yeah, possibly. Go for it.
All right. Has the firing stopped yet?
The firing it's now quiet after the box truck has exploded and is now burning. There are a pile of bodies near where the group was, where they were near the fire to keep warm. There are two the ivory white suits that are not illuminated anymore, just laying there. At one point, a figure appeared, which you would assume was the woman, kind of grabbed the kid and vanished. And there are like two bodies. The truck's on fire, and they are somewhere. They ran somewhere into the building, and the Jukarata armored vehicle is just slowly rolling up.
All right. So I guess we're gonna approach then in chevron formation, of course.
Yeah. There's no other way.
We could use smart formation, but we're going to use chevron formation.
So Hellcraith would step in front of the truck and signal for the driver to exit.
Okay. So they pull up and they point the minigun and they have the light like scanning the building, looking for them. And the door opens and the same guy gets out. Good work, good work. I think they're in. Just need you to flush them out like you did that last group.
Right. My companion Ori would like to have some words with you.
I think we can handle it from here, given that we're the UPM deputies for the system, and UPM typically takes care of psionic matters. I think you've helped remove much of the threat, but we can take it from here.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Give me a talk roll.
Let's see. Did I put any skills in talk? Nope. I put it in no, not talk. Let's see. It's not bad. 8.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll let you get in there, but we'll keep a safe distance. We'll keep our ears on in case there's a problem. We'll take care of any issues.
Good. Thank you.
Sounds good.
All right. Hellcraith will take the lead and open the door and enter the building.
Okay, so it's just there's just a hallway with debris, rocks, and broken pieces of wood and metal.
Any sounds?
As you listen, yes, there is just like kind of nervous crying and like people trying to be quiet, but they can't because they're so terrified. And they're obviously in the next room. There's just like a crate or some like a broken table that has kind of been pushed up to kind of like block your entrance. And there's noticeably like blood leading up to this room.
Well, Ori, you were the one that seemed to take issue with the way the police were handling things. How do you propose that we proceed?
We can get them to a UPM ship. We can go ahead and get them out of here without death.
That's assuming that we know that UPM won't execute them upon receiving them.
We do have a UPM standard procedure that was issued to us
We
Um,
also know that UPM doesn't just execute psychics because all of Curates is filled with psychics. And that's under UPM control as well.
So Oriole clear his throat. Hello. We are a few members of the Wholesale War Mercenary Company. We'd like to speak with you for a few moments. Don't worry, you'll be safe. We only wish to talk, and I hopefully get you to a safe place.
Put down your weapons.
Seeing that it was like a bunch of kids that just came in, Ori would like holster his pistol.
I'll holster my hammer, but I'm not dropping it.
Okay. Okay. You're muted.
You're muted.
I got a 2-point sling. My rifle's fine.
Okay. So the table slowly moves out of the way. A woman steps out in white robes that are now like blood stained. And she kind of walks into the hallway. So they send mercenaries now.
That's who UPM hires. You must be Rose.
I am.
We initially came here on report that children were being abducted, only later to find that this was a misrepresentation of the issue.
Of course.
I was hoping you could tell us a little more of what you would like with what you're doing with these children.
We're trying to give these children a better life.
I won't
We
argue.
cannot take all the children. We cannot take everyone. We have limited resources. But some few are better than none.
Are all the children you're taking, do they showcase psionic talent?
They do.
Are there children here who are left who do not showcase psionic talent? Or who showcase psionic talent?
I have not come across any. These are all the children that we believe. As you know, everyone has psionic abilities. You just have to discover them. These children are far more advanced than others, I would say.
What is their whole and on this where do you take them?
They'll be taken to Thora and under close care of Diamond Quartz and those of our group. They will be learn to hone their gift and given a new life, not one living off the streets in the slum.
What do when these kids grow up after they have trained and honed their talents, what then?
They'll be free to do what they wish.
Is this the typical response that UPN has for you? Gesturing to the bodies and the gun.
UPM takes various sides depending on what suits them. But this is the typical response from Jukarata police. Fire and then ask questions, never.
What is the law on Jukarata regarding psychics?
If they are properly identified, they're taken to curates.
And
I
what
believe the
then?
Church of the Eighth Divinity handles them from then. Those are only the gifted ones.
Yes, there was a member of the Church of the Eighth Divinity we encountered earlier.
Yes. Probably here to find out what we are up to.
Yes. They were with a man who claimed that his son did not consent to going with you.
Yes.
Or rather that he would not
Unfortunately,
allow
unfortunately, the boy's mother did consent.
Mhm.
Well, it seems like this is an easy situation to address. If the law is that psychics are identified and taken off world, we can provide that transport for those of you here.
You can.
Yes.
And then we would be fulfilling our obligation to UPN without endangering ourselves or taking undue risk.
How many of you are there?
There are one more of my associates and eight children.
Our vessel should be able to handle that.
Everybody give me a notice roll.
Six.
7.
Is notice based off of intelligence or wisdom?
Wisdom, I believe.
Okay. 5.
All right. So what was our highest roll?
I think I got 7.
Okay. All right. Message coming to you.
Oh, good heavens. I take a step back and turn to Ori. There's a drone in the hallway. Keep talking. And I step out and look at the drone.
So anyway, so it is clear what must be done. We'll make arrangements and we'll have it executed shortly. And I'll try to not appear suspicious or whatever.
So she at this time. So when you say that, she is like 5 meters away, like 15 feet away, and then she vanishes and appears right next to you and puts her hand on your like forearm and says, "Can I trust you
Yes.
with their lives?"
I have no wish to bring harm to innocent children. And this is not a life worth living.
I can trust you, Ori. And she vanishes.
Get on comms fast and call for the ship.
Yeah, do we have like communication back to the ship?
They're all built into the vac suits.
Yeah, I would have to imagine they do.
All right, so I would say, Sherry, can you bring the ship around to the building that we're in? And I would give them the coordinates, presumably.
Yeah, you hear the comm come on, and there's a lot of stumbling, like bumping around. Yeah, on my way. Yep, moving. Hey, give me that some space cola. Yeah, right there. Is that still got some in it? All right.
Make sure to fly directly in front of the door, so that we can load up. and be on our way as soon as possible.
What's the drone doing?
It's like there's a hallway, so it flew in and kind of like is in the corner. So it's probably like 8 feet. Uh-oh, I'm not saying it in meters. It's probably like anyway, it's like 8 feet tall, but it's a small drone. It's it's not very big, but just enough, and it's like flown in the corner, like above the door.
Does it have any markings on it? Jukarata Police, UPM.
I mean,
Eater Joe's.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard to extract. It's either the Jukarata drone or UPM drone.
Okay.
I mean,
And this is something just Svetlana sees right now?
she told Ori.
Yeah, I told
Okay.
Ori as I was stepping back. And to answer your question, Peter, no, it does not. Just a laser.
Okay.
Though it does have rockets inside the actual armory, it doesn't have on the vessel itself.
Okay.
All right, so
as she disappeared, Ori would have leaned over to Hallcraft and let him know where Lana went. We need to be on our guard. I'm not sure where Rose went. Presumably, she's also aware.
I see. And then Hellcraft would just walk into the room where he heard the voices then. Because she pushed away a table and came into our room, right?
Yeah.
So I would go into that room and see what's going on.
Okay, so you push away the table. There is one. So she was there. The kids are all like in a, all clumped together. There's one of her associates that looks to be injured or whatever, and he's just kind of like treating wounds, sitting there. He's got a weapon that he's trying to like load. And then there's a body in the corner, presumably another one of her associates, I guess, probably that didn't make it. His body is like burned and like just blood is just like starting to pour into the room everywhere. Like it's like pooling.
Hmm.
Well, he used to have a nice skull.
Rose, what is taking time? Are we not going onto the ship?
Is it here?
It's on its way, if it's not already here.
When it is here, I will be on the ship.
Halcraith will call into the comms. Cherry, what's your ETA?
Sherry, what? Oh, that's me. Yeah, we're here. We flew right past that armored vehicle again. They're in one of the side alleys.
All right. And then I would address Rose. The transport is here.
And she's like, "Come, children," and she just kind of like tries to get them in like a big group hug, and she just vanishes with all of them.
Just all of them? Okay.
Yep.
All right. I might need to inform Sherry. Sherry, there may be suddenly occupants on the ship. Pay no mind to them. They're supposed to be there.
Is there anyone else in this room?
There's one dead body and one of her associates that's injured.
Okay.
And he just kind of looks around. He's got a weapon. He just kind of staggers as he gets up. His suit is bloody and damaged.
Halcraith's going to call Sherry. Did you see the passengers that have entered the ship?
Yeah, I think so. Lord Mars is. I hear him swearing back there. I'm pretty sure they're here.
All right. And then Hellcraith is going to address the other one with the weapon. Are you coming with us?
Yes, if I can.
Can you walk?
Yes.
Then let's go.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll walk back through the hallways.
I'm keeping an eye on the drone.
Okay, yeah, the drone is just watching.
The minute the guy steps out, I'm taking the weapon away from him, just so he's completely unarmed as he's coming out.
Yeah, he just he doesn't care. So he gets on the ship, steps onto the ship.
Okay. Hellcraith will turn to Ori. Do you want to speak to the Jukarata law enforcement, or shall I?
Mission accomplished.
Very well, I will. Took too long.
I could tell that you really wanted to, so I'll let you do it.
So Hellcraith would go try to find and speak with the Jukarata law enforcement official that we've been interacting with.
Yeah, go ahead, free merchant Kelly.
Right, so we have secured the individuals cornered into the ship or the building. We are going to take them off world as per UPM policy.
Okay. You gonna space them? I mean, I think that's probably the appropriate course of action.
What takes place from here is not really any of your concern. They will be off world.
Fair enough. Just trying to be helpful.
Right. Is there any other obligations that we have towards the Jukarata police enforcement based on our relationship with UPM?
No, I think you've done outstanding work. Appreciate it.
All right. Ending communication.
Okay.
I don't want to talk to you no more.
Okay, then. Well, should we head towards our next destination? The people? Who was about the Herald of Zeus?
Yes, we need to go and find them. As long as Rose and these people are on our ship, they should be all right.
That's okay. Lord Mars is an excellent child person. He loves kids.
Who wants to play with Uncle Mars?
Who wants to go see the armory?
So yeah, that's probably a good place to stop as you guys are grab the kids and Rose and are headed over to find the regretful affliction and the Herald of Zeus.
Yep.
All right. Got a lot of good notes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was interesting. I feel like I'm finally starting to get a sense of who Hellcraith is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fun.
As we learn the virtue of Dairy Queen.
Yeah, I didn't know where this was going to go, but
I think it is about, because we don't have any that we know of, because we don't know much of Lana, but assuming that she's not psionic, there's really no brush with any psionics that we've had.
Yeah.
So it's a nice kind of intro to that aspect of the world.
Isn't Lord Mars a psionic?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
No. He's a psychopath, not a psionic.
Oh, I thought.
Similar, but not quite the same.
Okay.
Yeah, surprisingly, none of us took any psionic ability whatsoever.
Nope.
That doesn't mean we can't pick it up with like one of the feet, like the foci.
The foci. Yep, you can.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. The dice gods have created Hellcraith. Maybe some point they'll determine he needs psychic power.
Mhm.
Why not?
Yeah, I was wondering what you guys were going to do as everything began to escalate.
Is it like we can't go out and outright just murder these people? We have to find more information because one side says they're kidnapped, the other side said, oh no, they're coming willingly. So you kind of have to ask about that stuff.
A
Just go
yeah.
in guns blazing.
Hellcraith, he wants to do the bare minimum. As a true union boss, an enforcer would.
Oh, he's a union. That explains the problem.
That's his background. He was a union enforcer.
Mhm.
That explains so much.
Mhm.
Wait, that's why you're billing for overtime constantly and per diem on the food we keep giving. Jesus.
Yeah, and that's why policy and procedure is so important to him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do really think that'd be a fun mechanic to do. Like imagine we go to worlds, right? And like instead of like spells, you can get like handbooks or like learn about them and like learn their policies and procedures for handling their different customs.
Mhm.
And then you can work it in as like some equivalent of advantage or some special knowledge or whatever.
At that point, you're just playing 4th edition D&D. That edition
Oh,
had
4th
so
edition.
many fucking rules.
4th edition?
Yeah.
The thing
Did it really have that many rules? I thought that was like all the classes were essentially the same.
That's
All
the
the-
problem that I've
yeah.
had with 4th edition is that everything was basically the same. It was just reflavored, repackaged.
Yeah,
And,
it's
and it
tons
was
of
also
stuff.
so like 3rd edition 3.5 you could see where the design philosophy was going and that allowed you to create homebrew stuff. Same thing with 5th edition. 4th edition, the process behind how they made their decisions was so arcane to me. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't deconstruct it enough to recreate things that I wanted to recreate. And also because everything was just, the same thing, just repackaged differently. It was like, it was so frustrating.
yeah.
4th edition was just hyper balanced around. It was like a video game, essentially.
It was. And it did do a lot of good things. There are a lot of innovations that 4th edition had, including 4th edition is really the birthplace of cantrips.
Yeah.
Although that probably started really with the Warlock of 3.5. But yeah.
Yeah, before then you had level 0 spells and everything. And Orisons, or I can't remember the name they had for them. There was something that began with an O.
Yeah, and then they also had 4th edition had the encounter powers, which are where short rest powers came from and everything like that. So it did a lot of cool things that helped forge 5th edition.
It had some problems.
It had quite a and I think it almost was even worse than 3.5 in some ways, with the number of conditions and modifiers and things that you could add or apply or had to keep track of.
And it was per encounter stuff, so it's like at the start of the day you begin with these per encounter spells, and you just go down the list for what gave you the best thing.
Yeah.
You didn't really care. Yep.
So when's our next game, Mike?
When do you want to start switching these Sundays?
All right. So if we go on the normal schedule from today, next week would be the Four Dagger Core game. But because there's the Super Bowl then, we could either do Four Dagger Core on the 9th or the 16th. And then you would be on the other week. So I'm good with you know, kind of keeping the schedule as is and then starting Four Dagger Core back up on the 16th.
Okay.
I think that'll also work in Brendan's favor to help him get back, because I think that he's got a couple of weeks where he's like moving or something.
Yeah, he's in the process of moving.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid the fires at the same time.
Yeah. So I think if we start on the 16th, that'll be fine, and then we'll have session 0 for Descent into Avernus. Well, Fernia.
Yeah.
Mine is Fernia. And then we'll have our first session for Fernia on the 18th. So that'll be that'll be the most ideal, because then I'll be running on the 9th and the 18th, so I won't be running 2 games in the same week, which will be good.
No, you just said the 16th, so should you want to switch?
Oh, wait a minute. What am I saying? Because I would be running 2 games in the same week. No, that's fine. I don't think that should be too bad.
I mean, we can move it. We can move stuff around.
Yeah, if it gets to be difficult, I'm sure that we can adjust. But I think it should be fine. Because, I mean, Descent into Fernia, it's a module. I'm doing a lot of modification to it, but it's still a module. So, I mean, it's really just about reading the material ahead of time and making sure that I'm making changes to fit based on being based in Eberron. So, and Josh, I'm sending you the email now.
Okay. That works for me. Trust me, I have a lot of free time. I got the flu at the moment. Pretty much stuck in bed.
Which strain?
I'm not sure. I've had it for almost a week now, though.
Did you go to, I mean, it's a little late to get Tamiflu, but.
I didn't go to China, thankfully. No, I don't think it's the corona flu.
That's good.
Yeah.
I had the flu like the week before Christmas, and I was basically down for the count. I had like 104-degree fever.
Damn.
Yeah, I've had 103 so far, and the doctor said it's going to last about 2 weeks.
Oh, man. That's brutal, man.
2 weeks of the flu, and then 6 weeks of a non-ending cough. It's great.
And just being the flu aches.
Yep.
Just being tired all the time, hurting.
Yeah, everything
not having energy to really do much, even though you're fine.
Yep. It's just, I'm loving it. I was going to do more with this character, but I'm like, I can barely speak as is right now. I'm going to let you guys handle this.
Oh, that's all right, man.
Yeah.
I totally get it. Like that fucking flu ravaged my entire team at work. Like I got sick, then like 2 days later, like 2 people got sick, then my boss got sick, and then like it was skeleton crew over the holidays because everyone was just knocked out with the flu.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Yep, it's a lot of fun. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I don't need it at my work. We got overtime back, so I don't need that.
You sure? I can come over if you want it.
Okay. No, that's okay.
Okay, I'm happy to offer.
Just let me just sit in your lobby. All right, guys. Have a good night and a good week.
Yeah.
Good night, son.
Take care, everyone.